Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a lifelong friend of Al Wilcox, Mr. Roger Lyle. Presenting the AMA Motorcycle Hall of Fame ring tonight for Al Wilcox is a flat track champion who has experienced the thrill of the checkered flag many times, Hall of Fame member Ed Kretz Jr.
Roger Lyle, in recognition of Al Wilcox's lifelong dedication for motorcycling, his 52 years as a race starter, and his ambassadorship to the sport, it is my special honor to induct your friend, Al Wilcox, into the AMA Motorcycle Hall of Fame. Congratulations on his behalf. Eddie?
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming out tonight. This is a great honor for me. It's a very special time of the year. Special time in my life to meet Al Wilcox, to know him for 35 years, and to be called his best friend. That's quite an honor when a 90-year-old man tells you that I only got 4 friends in this world. And I said, Al, you got hundreds of friends out here. He says, no, you and Joan and Dylan and Kathleen Scott are my best friends. I said, what about those other hundreds of people out there? He said, them are handshaking friends. And I stood back and looked at that 90-year-old man and I said, he knows what he's talking about. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you have a great person in your midst, please honor that person and cherish them, because they're not going to be with us forever on this earth, but they'll be with you forever in your hearts. So I'll give you a little lifetime history of Al. Al Wilcox was born on January 4th, 1919 in Trenton, New Jersey. Al's lifetime member AMA number was 107. He lived in the same house that his father built for 82 years. Al started riding motorcycles in 1936, but because of World War II, which he served in as an instructor for driving tanks, and there were some great stories about that, he didn't get racing until 1947. In his first pro race on the old Daytona Beach course, which he raced 11 times, Al Wilcox finished 3rd out of 150 starters in that 100-mile novice race. Then in 1948, Al's performances attracted the attention of Hank Syverson, the Harley-Davidson racing chief. Al was presented with a note, and he was signed to be the first amateur Harley-Davidson factory rider. He rode for 4 years on that team. The first year he was an amateur, and then the rest he became an expert. He had AMA National number 49 for 15 years, and he was very proud of that. In 1951, Al was ranked as the 5th best TT racer in the United States. During his racing career, Al went to the starting line over 3,000 times. He raced at over 360 tracks in the United States and Canada. He won or finished high in several hundred races and has over 100 trophies in his collection. Al Wilcox was an AMA dirt track starter for 33 years. He worked with AMA starter and Hall of Famer Duke Pennell for 15 years at Daytona. Al Wilcox was a race promoter from 1965 to 1974. This is a great story. He hired Evel Knievel to jump for him at one of the races that he had promoted. And he said, they didn't ship the bike to Trenton, New Jersey, where I live. They didn't ship the bike to Philadelphia. They shipped the bike to Washington, D.C., to Red House Harley-Davidson. Well, we drove down there, picked the bike up, brought it up, and set it up for Evel. Now, this was Evel Knievel's inaugural jump on a Harley-Davidson motorcycle. So Evel did a little warm-up, and he's running back and forth like he always did, you know, doing wheelies for the crowd, and the crowd's going nuts. So then he warms up for his jump. He takes the jump. He flies through the air, and when he lands, the handlebars collapsed. Al says, oops, we forgot to tighten the handlebars up. So they tightened the handlebars up, and Evel made one more jump for him to please the crowd, and that was history. Then they made that movie about Evel Knievel. Well, he came back to Al a couple years later and said, I want to jump for you again, Al. He says, how much is it this time, Evel? He said, $25,000. Well, Al had only paid him $5,000 the first time. He said, Evel, get down the road. And a little guy that came about 4.5 feet tall told Evel Knievel to get down the road. Al started flagging Weira Motorcycle Races, that's the Western Eastern Road Racers Association, in 1973 and flagged all the way through 2010. That's 37 years working as a starter for Weira. He was our starter at Motorcycle Excitement. He was our best friend, and he was a beloved icon at Summit Point Raceway, known as much for his clockwork starts as well as his color-matched outfits that his bride Julia made for him. To support his family in racing, Al was a tractor-trailer driver and a delivery man for 41 years, and he came home for lunch every day with his wife, Julia. In 2001, the start-finish line at Summit Point Raceway was dedicated to Al, the Al Wilcox start-finish line at Summit Point. He was very proud of that, and he said, well, nobody's got a start-finish line named after him, so that was pretty cool. Al was the first man on the track in the morning at 6:30 a.m. and the last man to come in after the last racer. Al Wilcox touched the lives of everyone who had the pleasure to meet and speak with him about the passion for motorcycles and the racers who put it on the line. Al left this world 2 years ago on February 3rd, 2011, but his legend lives on with his AMA Hall of Fame induction. Al dedicated 70 years of his life to motorcycle racing and the motorcycle racers. I know if Al was here today, this is what he would say. Follow your dreams and get on that motorcycle and go race. Al Wilcox was motorcycle racing's national treasure and my best friend. Race in peace, Al Wilcox. You will always be with us in our hearts. Your life was a great race. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.